get my drink out so I can get ready to unbox my first box of yarn for 2026. Just now realizing I forgot my box cutter. Okay, got the box cutter. So, I tried to make sure I was totally done with all of my orders in December, and I even did some extra orders, and I still ran out of like a bunch of things. So I just ordered a big, huge box of Premier, and ironically found out a couple days ago that there is a brand new store that opened up recently near my house that, lo and behold, sells Premier yarn. So I did still need to order a lot of certain things, but it would have been nice to know, because there's some things I didn't really need to make sure was in back stock that I did anyway. So here it is. This is Emerald. I've increased my stock for that. Marshmallow. I super increased my stock for Marshmallow. And let's see, what else? Shell. I've increased my stock for Shell. These are colors that I used for facial features. White. Tons of white. And, oh, another white. And what else did I increase? I increased my orders for black. So tons of black. And then the challenge after this is always trying to figure out where to store everything. And then the rest of these were just Poppy, Sunshine. These are just making sure I have backup. Charcoal, Pistachio, and then I'm very excited about this. So I'm just restocking all of my Parfait Chunky. So just to recap, I'm opening up my first box of 2026. I thought I was completely stocked. I was not. So when I did my inventory, it was like, oh my God, I'm like really behind on certain things. I used a lot more of different colors than I anticipated. So a good example of that is like the white. I used significantly more white last year than I realized I used. So instead of just keeping, like, I keep 3 in stock of every color. 2 on the shelf in the house that are pre-caked, like this. So these are, I've used this really cool yarn caker. I'm going to grab it so I can show you. Sorry, it's attached to my, I have like a little collapsible table that I use. That way I can like put it all away. But I got this, it's Kato. It's a Kato cake winder, and it's not a hand crank because I am way too lazy for that. And it's been great, other than the fact that I did have to take it apart when I first got it, because it's like the disc kind of got disjointed when I first got it. So I did have to take it apart, which was terrifying because I don't like taking things apart. But once I got it back together, it worked great. So that cakes these. However, I can't tell what color these are when they're caked. And some colors are very similar, so what I do is I keep my backstock uncaked so I can quickly see what color it is, and I've got them boxed up according to their colors. So anyway, that being said, I keep 3 of everything, and I found out that I use a significant chunk of different colors. So I got, I'm going to keep 9 in stock of white. So I had to order 6, 7 because I already had 2 in stock. So we're going to keep 9, so a lot more back stock of white. I have started doing a lot of characters. I've gotten a lot of orders for characters, so I am doing shell. I have 9 in stock for shell now, and I also got a lot of marshmallow, which I also use for a lot of colors, for skin colors. So marshmallow is really good. I use this specifically for like the Ruby dolls. Any of the K-pop dolls, this color tone seems to work a little bit better because they're not as peachy, and it just was this, the shell is too peachy. So I'm trying to get closer to the actual color tones, and Parfait doesn't really have a ton of color tones specifically. Hi, hello. That says, oh, what are you? You know, it's funny. It said, what are you? And I didn't see the doing at the bottom. It just said, what are you? A person, some days. I'm unboxing my Premier yarn. Oh, thank you. It's genetics. So anyway, so yeah, so I'm trying to get skin colors across the board. I've got some browns, and I'm not super in love with the brown palette from Premier as far as skin tones go. So I have, like my dad looks kind of Samoan, and so his skin tone is definitely not represented in the options that I have. So I'm kind of on the lookout for a quality like Premier that might have that kind of that kind of skin tone. So I like having a lot of the skin tones because I want to make a lot more characters next year. And then I could not tell you why I went through so much emerald last year, but I feel like emerald was just used in a lot of like parts. And I could not tell you I made one particular thing with emerald, but I used a ton of it last year for some reason. So I am going to stock more of the emerald than I normally would with anything else. But then everything else I got was just the regular restock. Now, one of the things I used more yarn than I thought I did was the poppy, and I think this is the same thing where I cannot tell you a single thing I made with poppy, like exclusively, but I think this is a parts color. I think this is a color that ends up being used a lot for clothing and just random pieces. It just happens to work really well. I can tell you only one thing that I know for sure I made with this, and that is the Marvel the Martian. This color worked perfectly for that. So all that being said, I did finally get the Parfait plush. Everybody's been saying good things about it. I am not represented by Premier yet. I use nothing but Premier, so they are more than welcome to pay me to sponsor them. But I'm going to do it for free today because I actually like the product. So I have Parfait XL in stock that I hate. I love Premier, but I hate the XL with every fiber of my being. So I still have a bunch of stock. I made one thing with it, and I was just so enraged with how much it pilled. I also was very new. I didn't know what I was doing yet. So it very likely had a large part to do with me. So I have not tried it since. So I have not a whole bunch. I have like 5 skeins in stock that I just haven't touched. So now that they have plush, I've heard really good things, and just from the first impression, this feels like Parfait Chunky. So it's just a version of Parfait Chunky, and it feels pretty good. So I anticipate that I'm probably gonna like this. I got sage and ruby. So I got 2 sage and 2 ruby because I have Valentine's Day coming up. Hi! And we're going to make a turtle with a rose on top. That is probably one of my best sellers. I sell one at every single show that I have one. I need to stock a bunch of them, but it's very time consuming, so I tend to make one and then move on. So I'm going to try really hard to do that. So that being said, done with that. I think I might do that next. I was kind of waiting for all this to come in. But what I've been working on is I have a whole bunch of this color yarn. I don't know where it's from. I suspect it's Loops and Threads. I hate this yarn almost as much as I hate the Premier XL. It's a capital H. It is severely difficult to work with. I cannot stand it. So I'm trying to use it all up because I have an insane amount of it. I had made a dragon. I was making this huge dragon with it, and I just was getting so frustrated with this yarn. I ended up frogging the entire thing, and I had to cut a lot of it because it was so bad that I couldn't even frog it. So I have this huge skein of this color. I'm pretty sure it's Loops and Threads, and I hate it. So I'm trying to get rid of this. So I've got to figure out what I'm going to use this specifically for. If you have any ideas, let me know. I thought maybe a chicken. I could make a chicken with it. I've already made 2 hearts with it. I could just make a whole stack of hearts and just go crazy on that, but I kind of feel like I need to make a big thing, and I think a chicken's pretty easy. It's hard to mess up. It doesn't have a lot of parts to sew or any parts to sew. I think that's what I'm going to do with that. And then I have been working on emotional support dumpster fires. So I'm actually going to close this up so I can try lining these guys up. So this is my ode to 2026, emotional support dumpster fires. Every single one has a different face. So my husband was getting a huge kick out of this. I wanted to make 12 of them, but I'm starting to burn out. I made 8, and they're fun, they're cute. I like making the facial details. Oh, this is gonna fall. Let's see if I can fit this one on here. I got it. Okay, this guy doesn't have his flame yet, but let's see if we can get him stacked on here. This whole thing's gonna fall down because I'm being greedy and I want all of them stacked up together. So, no. Okay, it's all. No, don't fall. Don't fall. This bottom guy is the. Okay, that's not gonna work. There you go. I tried. Okay, so yeah, emotional support dumpster fires. Welcome to 2026. So, they're super cute. Oh, there it goes. I love them. I'm gonna go ahead and let those fall down. I love those so much, but I'm burning out. I have one more flame to tie down, and then I'll be done with 8. I might circle back to it later. I usually batch out 12. Whenever I do a smaller thing, I'll do 12 of them. That way I don't have to redo them for a while. And then like I move on. Like I made like 12 crabs last year, and I never made another one. I'm going to make more. Now that I'm all sold out, I'll do another batch. And that works well for the small stuff. And it's just kind of fun. Like once you get the pattern down and you can remember the pattern, it's like quick to get it out. But I have crippling ADHD, so it hurts my soul to have to like do the same thing over and over again. So I don't know. I think I'm gonna pause that. You know what? Since I got this in, I'm gonna go ahead and do the rose turtle. That's my plan for today. Just wanted to make this a short one real quick. I keep videotaping unboxings and then not actually posting them, which is half the reason I wanted to start doing lives. So I can unbox live and then not think about it, because I am so behind on editing videos. I have so many videos, and I'm hoping to start getting them out more regularly. I missed Monday because I have not been able to catch up. So Monday's going to be like my build out day, where it's like if I have a video that's not time sensitive, I will post that on Mondays, so that way I can like build out the Mondays and I don't have to worry about them posting. So it'll be like a review on something, or actually an unboxing would be perfect for that, but I'm just so far behind on those. I haven't done the videos, but I'm in the process of editing. So that'll be Mondays. I'm doing Whip Wednesdays. I have an insane amount of works in progress that I need to get through. I'm doing Fix It Fridays because I also have some whips that I'm stuck on because they need to be fixed, or some old stock that has traveled to all the shows with me and is starting to kind of come apart. Some of my earlier stuff wasn't as secure, so I need to fix those. And then yeah, so okay, so we're gonna do kind of like backstock video Monday, whip Wednesday, Fix It Friday. And then Tuesdays and Thursdays, I will very likely not be online because I need to actually run a business. So those are the days that I'm going to stock predominantly. And yeah, so I'm feeling good. 2026, I feel like I'm like making progress, and hopefully I can keep this. I know I'm not going to say hopefully. I am confident that I'm going to keep this business running and doing very, very well. And I'm going to have a year that's better than this little dumpster fire. And I found out I didn't think I had a show this January, and I found out I do. I don't know how I missed that. So I was just prepping for Valentine's Day for February, and now I need to breakneck make stock for so maybe this dumpster fire does represent how I'm feeling right now, because I need to make an insane amount of inventory in the next 2 weeks, like a week and a half before my next show. And it's one of my more lucrative shows typically, and it's right before Valentine's Day, so I really got to make sure that I've got decent stock. I sold a lot last year. I did really well in the last quarter, and my biggest show I did in one show was 900, but I also got a lot of special orders out of that. So I ended up getting to about 1,200 from that show. And that's like, if I could do that once a month, that would be fantastic. That would be absolutely mind-boggling. So that's the goal. I'm going to try to, and I redid my storage recently. So I actually have all of my Parfait Chunky in weather resistant boxes. So they actually have like that seal. They used to sell them at Costco, and I've been waiting for them to get them back in stock. And it's been like 6 months. They have not gotten them back in stock. So I finally found a distributor for them, like the main distributor for them. Ordered them in. It cost a little bit more, and one of them came in with the handle broken. So like the little plastic part that connects was broken. So I think I'm just gonna glue it and try to fix it, because they're really good boxes, and it's way too much of a pain in the butt to return it or get a refund and da 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 da. So yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. Try not to spend too much time dealing with the stock and inventory. So now I should be able to take all of these that I just got in, this whole big box of Parfait Chunky. I should be able to take this and toss it in the individual containers. They're all by color, and I shouldn't have to keep reorganizing. What I was doing before is I had them all in bags, because again, it's like hot here, it's humid. I do not have enough storage indoors, so I have to store it out in the shed, but I don't want the yarn to go bad, so I've been sealing them in the plastic like storage bags. But that's like clunky, trying to move them around, it ends up going everywhere. So I started using these weatherproof boxes. I can't fit as much as I would in the bags, but they're just easier to move around. And I can also fit bags on top of them. So what I did is I changed everything over to all my Parfait Chunky, which is my largest stock, to go into these big the boxes, and then I can put the other oddball things like the velvet, and I've got like different cakes from like, I can't even remember, like loops and threads and stuff for hats. I have a variety of different things, and those all can go on top of those boxes. And then I got long storage boxes for the 4 yarn, whatever that's called. It's the one that you use. It's like the most common that you use. What is it? What is that called? It's the equivalent. Like this is a 6, and that's a 4. That's all I can. the 4-weight. That's what it is. It's called weight. It's a 4-weight yarn. So yeah, I've got like, I got these like gigantic storage containers that have rollers on them for under your bed, but they are too tall for literally any bed in existence. And my bed's raised, so I don't understand why this storage container does not fit under that bed. So that's rather irritating. So I could have returned them, but it turns out that in my shed it's very sloped and there's not a lot you can put up top, and it fits up top in that area. So I'm using that for my 4-weight and my overflow for my parfait. What is that called? Brights, Chanel Brights. So the Premier Chanel Brights, I bought a ton of this stuff because I like it, but I don't use a ton of it. But I want to. And then Premier store, well, it's a private store, but she carries Premier yarn, just opened up near me. It's like 45 minutes away. And now I don't have to carry it in stock. So I have a ton that I need to get through. I don't want to carry that in stock. I want to grab it when I need it and then move on with my life. So, so yeah, curious what your favorite emotional dumpster fire is. He still needs his flames. But, oh, you know what? This is a little floof right there, but I actually might make that a tooth. Like, it's a fluffy thing. It doesn't actually go there, but it looks like a tooth, and I kind of love that. But yeah, this is probably my favorite thing I've made. Well, yeah, this year. This is my favorite thing I've made so far this year. Although I made Marvin the Martian, he was awesome. I loved Marvin the Martian. But yeah, these are fun. All right, that's it for today. I am going to go crochet something. Thank you for joining. And I'm going to try to do this more often. I don't know when, because I have yet to figure out when is a good time to go live. So one of these days I'll figure out, like, this is my live day. But until then, thank you for joining, and wish me luck as I figure out this whole crazy journey of crocheting and starting my own business like a psycho.